Dear colleagues, good afternoon. We continue our working day at Ukraine Crisis Media Center. Now we're going to speak about the events that will be on the 29th of September, the 75th commemoration of Babyn Yar, and the Minister of Culture of Ukraine, Nyschuk, who is going to tell us about these events. Also, Gennadiy, co-founder of the Ukraine Crisis Media Center, is given the floor, and also the author of the witness concept is given the floor, and who will be involved, who will participate, and Yevgen will tell us about it. Good afternoon, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. This week and during two last weeks of this year, Ukraine, Kiev, commemorate 75th anniversary of tragic events in Babyn Yar. So, people were thrown to mass grave, and this is not only this is a tragedy of 20th century, the tragedy that should be deeply studied, and the Ministry of Culture was involved in the preparation of the events. I thought about the scope of tragedy. Thousands of Romas, 34,000 Jews died in this time, and also Elena Teliga, our famous writer, also was killed. So all those people who just wanted to live. So this was cynicism, and they brought to this massive grave all those people who were ill, and all this was a terrible tragedy, and all those inhumane things. We should remember about it and inform our youth about it, because in books, during history lessons, they say that, for example, more than 100,000 people died, or large-scale murders in Babyn Yar happened, and then they say that after that these events, people didn't speak about it, and they tried not to allow people to the sacred place, and a new catastrophe appeared in Kiev and Kurochka. There was some flooding, and also in the times of independence, a lot of time passed, but there are many witnesses. People gathered each year, they commemorated the memory, but that was the abandoned park, I mean the memorial complex Babyn Yar. And only now, during 3 months, a lot of effort was put in by the state. Funds were allocated, about 30 million hryvnias. Kiev city administration is a holder of these funds. Together with the subcontractors, they did everything possible in order to improve and ameliorate the sacred places, and now we see 3 alleys there. The alley, 3 alleys, one of which, and they go to Menorah. And there were some vandals to humiliate everyone, not only Jews. And now efforts are made in order to have CCTV cameras there to increase security. And menorah was renewed, and 3 alleys are restored, and we continue our work beyond 29th of September, and we will continue the work. And after 15 years of court hearings, Melnikova 44th Street was preserved, and this is a historic building. This was the office of Jewish Cemetery, and it is now under the Ministry of Culture. And we search for investors, and state funds will be involved in order to create a museum, the Babyn Yar Museum. Also, there should be a monument, Holy Man monument, and also all the names will be listed, and all the names of the people who was killed there will be named, and we should know the sacred place. Children should know the sacred place. I have 4 pages of events that are not only in Kiev but also in many other towns and cities of Ukraine. And starting from yesterday, big delegation, about 1,000, and there will be 1,000 delegations of the world Jewish community, Roma and other community representatives, and Ukrainians come from abroad. And there will be official events. And going forward, I would like to state that 29th of September, the visitors and Kievans, they should understand that there will be events held, and there will be some security measures, because we will have representatives of different countries. For example, the president of Israel comes, and also there will be some meetings in the Supreme Council devoted to this commemorative events, and also there will be some meetings, some exhibitions, and at Ukrainian House and in the Museum of the Second World War, wonderful exhibition. That the youth was impressed by emotional component of this exhibition. It is called the Lethal Way, and there were original things. And people who went from abroad, they brought some scarves, glasses, some suitcases. So the things that were brought by people who thought that they will be brought, they will go abroad, but these people were killed. So people, they knew about these events. Only children didn't know, but some children were just thrown there alive. So on the 28th, there will be a play, Our Class, that will depict on the case of Holocaust. Also there will be a week of movies devoted to this topic, and also on the 29th of September, any Kievan can come to Menorah, to those 3 alleys I have mentioned, and after 1 p.m. there will be security measures because of official delegations till 9 p.m. So you can come on 28th or 29th. These crimes, they were carried out throughout autumn. That's why you can commemorate, you can feel the tragic events. You can see those places that are marked with red pebbles. So these places are marked in order that people felt this place. So there will be official events. Anyone can see on TV. There will be live broadcast starting from 6 p.m. till 9 p.m. So there will be many different events, and my colleagues will tell you about it later. And lastly, this tragedy should brought the attention of the world community. Only separate communities knew about the events, and now more and more people get information. People know about Auschwitz, Bernau. People know about it in the world, but Babyn Yar, the number of victims is huge, and information now appear about all these events, and we should do everything possible in order to prevent these terrible events. So I give the floor to Kurochka, who is going to tell us about the concept that is called witness. Thank you, Mr. Minister. Sergiy Proskurnya joined us now. Maybe I will give the floor to Mr. Proskurnya, who also participate in these events. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I am very short of time because there is just a rehearsal of symphonic orchestra of National Philharmonic and Credo Choir. They will perform in Babyn Yar Bernstein pieces. Bernstein, he is a native of Ukraine, and famous music from List of Schindler, the Cradle Song, and this small music piece. Two people take part in it. Roman Kaufman, he is a conductor, very famous conductor of Ukraine, whose 11 relatives died in Babyn Yar. Roman Schindler, he published the book Grandmother's Yar. His grandparents died in Babyn Yar, and he is a conductor, and he will conduct the orchestra in Babyn Yar this night. A very famous violinist arrived to Kiev this night. Many people dream to meet him. The best world's halls are open to him. He is 94 years old. Last week he was with a tour in Japan, then he was in Paris. He is Ivry Ditlis, a violinist. He will perform solo in the Cradle Song from Schindler List movie. I would like to say and accent on the fact that this musical piece and participation of so famous musicians became possible thanks to the support from Petro Poroshenko's foundation, and we are thankful to the foundation and our President Poroshenko. So I return to our rehearsal, and I appeal to everyone to watch us on TV on Thursday. The action will start on 2:30 with the Witness Project. Sergiy will tell us about the Witness Project. Our team of Ukraine Crisis Media Center has always perceived this tragedy, the most awful tragedy, as a tragedy of Ukrainian people. The concept of witness which we offered, unfortunately there are no live witnesses of this tragedy any longer, and in the form of metaphors we propose that the witness is a wind, the wind who witnessed the tragedy many years ago, the wind which can bring to us all the awfulness of this tragedy of the past, so that we feel it in these days. We made an installation titled Shofar. This is ritual religious instrument of Jews, which is in fact, and its sound accompanied the souls of the victims to the heavens, and the shofar installation 7 meters high. It looks like this. The souls who are in a kind of queue on their last way, they are going to the heaven, going up to the heaven. This is the visual solution of shofar. It repeats the age of Babyn Yar ravine. The project is a musical installation. The music was written, it was composed by one of the most talented Ukrainian composers, Slava Lunyov, who understood, learned this concept, all the awfulness of the tragedy, and we also engaged our children. As you know, if you remember, we worked with them during the project Hop Netherlands Hop before the referendum in the Netherlands. We were very much impressed by the gifted children, and we engaged them into this project. Настя Багинska, Sasha Подолян, Varvara Vasilyeva, Sasha Khmara, Vadim Prikh. They is via their creativity, creative performance, and their possibility to feel the sound of shofar, the sound of wind. They will try to retranslate this music for the spectators, for us. This was just a brief description. I invite all of you to turn on TV on 6:30 p.m. on Thursday. There are not all people engaged in this project here today. My partner Natalia Popovich, Liza Esko, who was an executive director of the project, and composer Slava Lunyov. He is in Lviv today, but I would like to give the floor to Alexander Yasko. He is the father of one small violinist. He helped us to make this installation so that all of us can hear these sounds and these verses for the Witness Project, and we will watch that we will have the opportunity to watch this on TV on Thursday. You're welcome. Good afternoon. For all of us Kievites, Ukrainians, this event in the history of Ukraine indeed is known by all of us, but in fact to live it, to understand the scale of this, the scope of this tragedy, it is quite hard. So I decided to make a music installation, and when I heard the music composed by Stanislav Lunyov, I felt fear. The only thing which helped me to not to lose and to understand what the installation should be about, Stanislav Lunyov's words, this should be a prayer. Normal, ordinary person can only pray for the souls of those people who suffered, who became victims of the tragedy, and pray for such tragedies never repeat either in Ukraine or in other countries. I will not quote all the words now. This prayer is an appeal to all of us and the future generations, the appeal to God, to holy angels, so that they give us the opportunity to live and give us wisdom not to allow any time the evil to act this way in the territory of our country or whatever, wherever in the world. Mr. Minister started with the very precise words. His speech, he started with the precise words. This is the philosophical tragedy, Babyn Yar. Our talented composer Slava Lunev, who was already told about, he managed to compose work which is very deep, deeply expressing the tragedy which happened in the territory of Kiev. This piece of music is a modern one, and it is written in modern language, and we in this piece of music we express that we are modern people. Recently other pieces of music were played, but this music is modern one, it is European one, it is difficult to play. I worked with the best pupils of Lysenko School for most gifted children who play music, and the children prepared. They had first experience of playing such music. They experienced difficulties. There are some nuances which they have never faced before, and I am very thankful to the children who have learned this piece of music for a short during short period of time. They did their best, and we made a record. We worked till late at night. I thought that they will not have enough strength to work till late at night, but they managed, they coped with this challenge. I think that this project, the language of Slava Lunev, this is European language. This is extremely important in our project, and I would like to invite our children now to the scene so that they demonstrate their melody. Just imagine very thin tune which the evil tries to exterminate, but despite all those evil sounds, this small tree of this tune, of this thin, beautiful tune, it grows just like the people, the nation which Nazis tried to exterminate. So the floor is yours, children.
Дякую дуже. Дякую дуже, пане міністре.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Minister. Thank you, children, for the piece of music you performed. Thank you to children for their performance. I would like to comment. The list of events will be available at the website of the Ministry of Culture. You can see all the venues and the schedule, the agenda, because I can't list all the events now. If you have any questions, unfortunately we do not have time, so if journalists have any questions to Minister or to other speakers, please ask them of records. And I would like to remind that on September 29th on 6:30 you can watch on TV online at First National Channel and maybe other central TV channels. So turn on your TV sets on Thursday, September 29th, 6:30 p.m.